Hello and welcome to this Tales from the Hut Hangar episode on the French SNCAC NC.211 Cormoran. Now, it was an early heavy transporter capable of carrying all types of large cargo, up to 150 passengers in a civilian role. It never happened. As you'll find out, a brief but eventual story. Right, so after the Second World War, the French Republic government started a plan aimed at restoring the Air Force to its former glory. A tender was put out for a new military air transport capacity, along with many other types, and you can see here SNCAC's proposals for the utilisation of their planned aircraft. It was a heavy transport and cargo aircraft capable of dropping a minimum of 95 parachutists. Pressure by military top brass put pressure on de Gaulle to provide France with such a capability. The SNCAC programme was therefore considered a priority by France. It received the designation at this point NC-210 and was called the Cormoran. Aesthetically, it was a very innovative aircraft. Its high wing supporting four 18-cylinder radial SNCAC 18R engines with 2,200 horsepower and its large double-deck hold. The NC-210 was an all-metal design. It had a large opening nose cargo door which allowed light vehicles or bulk cargo to be loaded. But unfortunately, everything in its development, it came across problems. One of the problems was that the SNCAC was unable to supply the 18R engine on time. The aircraft, due to various developments now, was designated the NC-211. Right, some facts about the aircraft. At a crew of 5, a capacity of 26,455 pound payload, 76 paratroopers or 60 stretchers, or 150 passengers in the civilian guise. Its length was 100 foot 1 inch. Its wingspan was 144 foot 4 inches. Its height was 35 foot 1 inch. Its wing area was 2,200 square foot. Its empty weight of 56,493 pounds. Its gross weight was 93,145 pounds. And its power was 4 SNCAC 14R 14-cylinder 2-road air-cooled radial piston engines, both of 1,600 horsepower each. Its propellers were 3-bladed, 13 foot in diameter. Its maximum speed was 240 miles per hour at 9,843 foot. Its cruising speed was 179 miles per hour, and range with full payload was 620 miles. Its service ceiling was 26,000 foot. A production and pre-production aircraft were ordered in 1946, as well as 20 production examples. The French Air Force estimated its needs to be 160 of this type, which is quite incredible. The Cormoran's first flight was on the 20th of July 1948. This flight had been delayed many months because of hydraulic problems with the landing gear. It was painted in a civilian livery, pale blue with a dark stripe starting from the nose to fade behind the wings, and is decorated on the front with a cormorant's head. I can't find a registration of this aircraft anywhere. Unusual, maybe it didn't have one, I don't know. But it was NC-21101 was its production number. And here we have one of the best photos you can find of the Cormoran, and you get the scale of it with the people stood by it. Now the big day was here. While the takeoff and maiden flight went well, it was upon landing that tragedy occurred. The aircraft pitched up during the approach phase and the pilot lost control and it crashed. A Mr. Monton, an employee of SNCAC, observed, "The plane went down in the woods and approached the field. We went help searching the firefighters and police. Disaster. The plane rolled onto the cockpit in the trees but did not catch fire. The ambulances arrived. Unfortunately, the 5 crew were dead." So the cause of the crash was a mismatch between the flaps, tailplane and elevators, so it was a shock to the whole programme and the people involved. However, the Air Force decided to continue development of the aircraft. The pre-production aircraft NC-21102 was then in the final assembly phase. This time it had a military livery and provisional registration of Foxtrot Whiskey Foxtrot Kilo Hotel. It first flew on the 9th of April 1949, and now we've got this great bit of footage. This flight took place without any incident. However, the Cormorant did not take long to disappoint. The plane was severely underpowered, therefore its carrying capability and its range were almost useless. So an aircraft's fuselage was displayed at the Paris Air Show, which was held on the 29th of April to the 15th of May 1949. So a few weeks after this first flight of Kilo Hotel, SNCAC was absorbed into the company that evolved into Nord, and they finished the Cormoran program. The French Air Force at the same time now favoured American aircraft like the C-54, Skymaster and the DC-6. The 9 aircraft in very different phases of assembly were all scrapped. Kilo Hotel remained at the Villa Courbet Air Base in the Paris region. So on the 7th of July 1949, Kilo Hotel finished flying with only approximately 30 hours on the clock. From then on, it's basically used as a equipment shed for the Flight Test Centre. And in the end, it was scrapped in the 1970s, and I guess nothing remains of it. So that's the Cormoran story. I hope you enjoyed it. The photographs I used, it's difficult to give any credits, which is a case with a lot of these older aircraft. The film was Pathe. There's a link to the original one in the description of this, and also the link to PDFs that you can look at because they don't transfer very well over to YouTube. But please like and subscribe and leave any feedback, because it's makes me know that I'm not just talking to empty space. So until the next time, thanks very much.